rainbow is such a wonderful symbol of unity in diversity. And it can be used as a metaphor for the spectrum of gender identity as well as sexual orientation. At a more subtle level, rainbows are not just 5, 6, 7, or 8 colors. They are a continuous spectrum of color without any lines differentiating them. This replicates the fluidity of gender and sexuality many people experience. That continuity of color encourages us not to put people in categories, but rather appreciate their uniqueness. That continuity of color encourages self-definition rather than cultural conformity. This parallels Unitarian Universalist approaches to our spiritual identity. Rather than conform to a doctrine or a creed, we look inside to discover and be guided by what arises in response to our individual experience of life and relationships. Rather than adopt or reject an established belief, we test it inwardly to discover its truth value for us. And this isn't a one and done experience. Our belief or unbelief can change over time based on learning, discussion, and personal experiences. Rather than having some defined, fixed endpoint finally identifying us as a Jew or a Christian or a Muslim or a Buddhist or a Hindu or a Rastafarian. We explore and embrace what resonates inwardly from each tradition. The diversity of religious identity and spiritual expression is the source of our growth and development, always guided internally, seeking justice, seeking truth, seeking love at the center. This also parallels the experience I've discovered of living in New York City. What an amazing and diverse place this city has become. Hispanic Catholics, Protestant, Black Protestants, Jewish and Muslim Americans, each from different significant parts, become the significant parts of our religious landscape. Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, each have distinctive religious profiles rather than one uniform pattern. One borough can feel more secular, one more devout, with Manhattan notably less religious than, for example, Staten Island. Religious life is not hidden here. It is visible in synagogues, mosques, churches, temples, and guardaras. You can find faith traditions expressed through food, through dress, through holidays, through music and public rituals, on the streets and in yearly parades. New York is a city where many languages can be heard on a walk through Central Park, where Dominican, Chinese, Puerto Rican, Jamaican, Haitian, Korean, Mexican, Bengali, Italian, West African, Polish, Irish, and Greek communities all are making their home here at once. Where Washington Heights, Flushing, Jackson Heights, Flatbush, Brooklyn Beach, or Brighton Beach, Sunset Park, Astoria, Harlem, Greenpoint, and Woodlawn each feel like a different map of the world, where global wealth and global struggle coexist block by block, where billionaires and newcomers, artists and workers, refugees and multi-generational families all share the same skyline. Now, certainly there are large metropolitan cities around the world, but New York is special. It has room for people to explore and find themselves within this diversity. This individual process of self-discovery happens within the river of other human beings. The vast potential of these relationships can open even greater exploration and self-discovery. I have never lived in a place with such vast creative potential, practically on my doorstep, that this city offers. But realizing that potential that New York City's diversity offers may not be easy, especially as a single person new to the area. Newcomers frequently get lost in the crowd and feel anonymous in that sea of faces passing by on the busy, anonymous streets. This is where Fourth Universalists and other UU congregations in New York City have something very important to offer. This congregation can be an anchor for people in that inner exploration process. We can be mutually supportive of each other as we feel moved to explore our gender identity and or our sexual orientation, as we feel moved to explore our religious and spiritual life, as we feel moved to refine our philosophy and our ethics, as we feel moved to act in response to injustice, as we feel moved by compassion and the call to generous service to others. This congregation can be a place to assist with access points for these movements. This congregation can be a place to build supportive communities. This congregation can be a place to make sense of the process of inner and outer exploration. There is so much unrealized potential here at Fourth Universalist for these movements. I've strived to make some small contributions, but so much more can grow organically as new people join the congregation. This is my favorite part of congregational life. I love helping people connect with each other for mutual support and benefit that then supports their growth and development. Refining one's religious identity and practice is a continuous process of a lifetime, potentially full of satisfaction every step of the way. At least, that has been true for me. I am so grateful that you have given me the opportunity to serve you in these last 2 years. The potential for Fourth Universalist is enormous. I hope I've laid some helpful groundwork upon which the Reverend Sarah Green, my predecessor, can build. Unitarian Universalist ministers are fond of the phrase, "We need one another." This is so true of congregational life too. So true when we go further and serve one another. So true when we support the structures that allow people to do their own inner work. So true when we support each other in that project, in that process. And when we do, magic can happen. I wish for that magic for all of you here and the hundreds of people who are not here yet to help Fourth Universalists realize its potential. Happy Pride.